Hey, my mates. Yeah, thanks for the chat there, and yeah, overall well played on Saturday. Some good stuff there. Yeah, chipping. I think I have an idea now. Obviously, if you do get a chance, hit a few chip shots and that around the chipping green and take some videos during the week. It will help. But I think I have a good idea because very related to what you do in your golf swing. All right. So you pretty much spot on there. I would be careful with the TrackMan 4-5. You know, a lot of that can be alignment. Okay, so if you're aiming a little bit left, particularly with the shoulders, and you're going to get that reading. Okay, but I do think you're probably just slightly above the plane and slightly exiting left. Okay, but understand the movement pattern that when you release the club, the earlier you release the club, the earlier it starts to go left. Okay, so just be careful about trying to go here, okay, because then you're going to force yourself again to make the move that we don't want to, which is not enough rotary and trying to manipulate the back tilt and the posture. And sure, you get shallow, okay, but other than that, everything else is not great. Okay, all right. We've never really had a problem with your angle of attack, as in being too steep. So, you know, let's not try and manipulate the club inside or get the plane flat or anything like that. Okay. I would say, if anything, it's a little flat and then a little bit stally and releasing early, exiting left. Okay. Even though that reading is swing path 3 or 4 degrees left. Okay. You got to interpret it and figure out what's happening. So a little bit of alignment, a little bit of sequencing, I think is probably where we're at. So don't fiddle too much with that swing plane or that path. Okay. Anyway, into chipping. So I think what's happening with chipping, because I've seen it before with the same postural issues. Okay, basically what happens is, okay, this plane gets a little bit flat with your wedges. Okay, so we get ourselves a little bit in this position here. Okay, a little bit under the plane, and then the club comes in heel first. So as soon as you catch that ground, okay, that thing just stalls, the toe shuts down, and you get these little drop kicky low. They chunks basically, but it's a lot to do with how the club is reacting with the ground. Okay, if the posture gets sloppy, a little bit under the plane, heel catches first, disaster. Okay, so only 1 or 2 of those. Sometimes it's instinctual. It's only 1 or 2 of those until you start standing up, because you don't want to slide the club because you're not trusting the bounce, and then you hit it thin. Okay, so without overworking it, because obviously I'm not 100% sure, I need to see a video, but still good to develop 2 shots, and these 2 shots will give it away. Okay, so the 1 shot we have, this is really good when there's wet ground, okay, but also into the grain. So if you notice the grass growing into, you want to chip grass growing. Happens on 12 at Trump, if you're just short of the green. I think long middle-ish there as well. If you're not too long into the longer stuff, you're still on the shorter cut, like just on and at the bottom of that downslope of the green. Also there, chip into the grain, but short of that green on 12 is into the grain. Anyway, really good shot to have in those conditions. Okay, we basically try and take the bounce, we try and take the heel out of it. Okay, so in terms of maximizing spin, you might compromise a little bit of backspin because you're not catching all of the grooves when you play the shot, but you won't chunk it. A very safe shot. Okay, and it's quite simple. It's just a toe down chip. Okay, so what you do is you get really close to the ball, get your hands nice and high, get the heel off the ground, toe on the ground. Okay, little Bryson DeChambeau type of feel. Okay, and you keep those angles, and you can still hinge it, and sometimes you can even still release it. Okay, but you are going to catch it slightly high. All right, and possibly slightly toe, so it's not going to maximize your spin rate. Okay, so little toe down chips. Okay. Can probably even get a little more height than that if I need to. So that one there, I had the handle, even though the toe was up, I had a little bit of lead in the handle. I don't think I need that. I'm going to go slightly forward to that ball position. Still toe down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so little toe down chips. Okay, and then the other way to give it away, okay, is little short, open face pitch shots. So once again, okay, if we open the face a little bit, okay, we take that heel out of play. Okay, or we take the chunk out of play. Alright, so what you do is almost set up ball position a little further forward, stance a little bit wider. Okay, so that would be normal pitching, I would say. Touch wider, touch further forward. Most importantly, take that leading edge out of play by opening the face. Okay, so take that leading edge out of play by opening the face. Yeah. Okay, and then you just hit little short, open face, slightly forward, and now I can trust the bounce. Okay, that's the part of the club hitting the ground there, even off a tight line. Okay, and then obviously we just aim ahead to the left. Just slide that club under. Okay, impossible to chunk it. Okay, so develop those two little shots. Okay, and that'll also teach you, but take a video if you get a chance, but that'll teach you, good to have in your repertoire, both of them, but it'll teach you a little bit about lie angle and how the club bounces and reacts with the ground. Okay, but like I said, good couple of shots to have in the repertoire anyway. Okay, right, with my other club go. Then, swing wise, okay, we're warming up with those two shots, okay, and then some low point wedges. So get your towel. Okay, towel behind. We should be down to club 8.5 by now. Okay, make sure we're taking a little divot and not disturbing that towel. Okay, so that's the warm up, the short game shots, and then those. So if you don't get a chance to get to the range, just chip those on the driving range. Just your little toe up chip, your little open face pitch. Okay, just chip a few 5 or 8 of each down the range, and then you get into your little wedge game. Okay, swing drill, we're going to do release point drill. Okay, so release point drill, where we're trying to discover. Look, it's relative to your speed or angle of attack, etc. But for good players, it's somewhere here. Okay, so we don't release the club at impact and maximize the width of the circle and the loft on the club. Okay, we actually release late. Okay, not as late as like that, but that's how it's going to feel. Okay, so release point drill, you can do 1 rep like this, where you hold the club head, okay, and you try and get the release point out in front of you, okay, and then when you do the drill, flip it over, you start the drill from here. Okay, about 2 foot in front, you start the drill, arms both extended, that's where I'm going to release it. Start the swing from there, obviously try and hit the ball, but reach that same, or feel like you're releasing that same release point. Okay, so 1 rep here. Okay, nice grip, fully extended, that's where I want to release it. Swing back, oh my goodness gracious, that will happen, 1 or 2. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, that's where I want to release it. Keep my height better this time. Okay, and just try and feel where that releases. Alright? Might actually help now that I feel by accident. But hitting that ball on the way back might actually help that takeaway going inside as well. That's happy medium. Okay, and then just hit some normal shots. And then your swing feel the normal shots. Okay, we're still trying to get a little bit more there. So a little bit less there. A little bit more there. Okay, so just hit some, feeling like your chest is over the ball and that flight is coming down a little bit. Okay, with all the irons. Right. So if it means that you kind of have a little bit of a stally sort of old man follow through for a few, absolutely fine. Okay, you just hit a few like that, and then you hit a normal shot, and you try and reference your eyes, head, and chest position relative to the drill. Okay, so we got to learn at time to get over the ball and release it later. So that those two things, right? Everything we're trying to do is to get on top of the ball and release it later, instead of early release and coming out of our posture. Good. Got it? Thank you, my mate. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Have a good week.